AskReddit by Let's Go Boy IIE. Who's the most unexpected person you had sex with? While on the men's rowing team at college, I hooked up with the women's coach for a while. Didn't really see that happening. Stroke. My second shift supervisor. I was first shift supervisor. I don't know how it even happened. We worked at a notorious building, I guess you could say. We did security. The building was always empty. For its size, there wasn't too many people and we had the keys to go anywhere. We did it on the roof with a city view, in the office bathroom, in a huge storage room, in our boss's office. The craziest part is I really never saw it coming. He was a sneaky one. He really buttered me up and gained my trust before even busting a move at all. What started off as a rooftop fuck turned into insatiable lust that I'll honestly remember for the rest of my life. I'm guessing y'all did it during third shift? On Halloween I dressed as a girl from the original Star Trek. I had sex with a random guy dressed as Spock. Still a high point of mine. Incredible. 44-year-old woman from NC. Best sex I ever had. Everything else after felt like cheap, no brand snacks after a few times with her. Edit. Forgot to say I was 23 at the time. It's hard to go back to Madag after you've sipped some fine wine. Co-worker at summer camp. I liked her a lot but I was too afraid to make a move. A bunch of us went to a friend co-worker's place for the weekend and on Saturday night she walked in and laid down next to me on the air mattress. Me, being clueless, was like hey, and she just sits up, straddles me and starts kissing me. It went from there and it was fun. I'm a heavy dude though and at some point the air mattress cap popped off and it deflated. Took me a minute to realize that I was just laying on the floor. She went to the bathroom to clean up and I got the air pump to reinflate the mattress. And I guess everyone else heard colon. Honestly, even if you are skinny AF, they're just not built for that. It's rough out here lol. My wife, the other day, was 95% sure we were just going to go to sleep. Finally one I can relate to. I went on a cruise to the Caribbean by myself when I was 25. I met a recently divorced 42 years old mom of 3 the last night of the cruise, also by herself. We stayed up the entire night the last night in my room. She skipped her flight the next day and I drove her to Atlanta where she lived, from the port of Miami. We got a hotel downtown and fucked all night. I took her to her car at the Atlanta airport the next morning and will never see her again. Although you never saw her again, did you ever speak again? The camp counselor I had a crush on when I was 11. I ended up running into her when I was 18. Didn't know it was her until we got to pillow talk. Best surprise ever. You're Anakin Skywalker. I've had sex with one guy my whole life but I'm here eating up these stories. I'm a virgin and I'm eating up these stories. I guess one of my teachers after I graduated, or one woman who I would clash with all the time that I knew from work. Enemies to sex buddies real quick. We called last call at the bar I worked at and this one older woman I'd thrown a flirt at took my hand and asked if there was somewhere we could make out. We went into the alley out back and just went to town. What made it unexpected was I had jokingly said to my friend earlier before work that I wanted to bang a MILF. That's what we call the law of attraction, my friend. You manifested that MILF to Yadik. Pastor's daughter. I was 19. She was 22, and we ran the youth camp together. As soon as the kids were asleep we got biblical. God, she was hot. I fucked a fellow counselor at a church camp in the worship hall. She blew me all the time and fucked pretty regular the whole summer. My female boss during my summer job at a coffee shop. MF is the main character of Summertime's saga. Female best friend's best friend. She she always hated me for some reason. Ended up hooking up throughout high school though. This thread has a theme of hatred turning to sex. I was at a college Halloween party dressed as Willie Robertson from Duck Dynasty, and a girl dressed in a full banana suit had sex with me in the bathroom. Neither of us took our costumes off. I don't even know who she is. Potassium's a hell of a drug. A girl from my college, keep in mind that I was a fat ugly bastard back then, and still now, and this girl just kept showing interest in me up to the point we had sex for a few months and she paid for the hotels and dinners and all. She's light years out of my league, so it still confuses me up to this moment. Edit. Grammar. Doesn't matter, had sex. Deleted. Did you ever wear the big sash that says mayor on it during? My friend's sister. She is hot, so I guess why not. It happened 7 years ago. Now we are married for 4 years. Yay, that friend is actually still my best friend. Edit. Grammar. Harry Potter. My sister's college roommate. I hated that bitch. Still do. Online college is wild, huh? My boss when I was 19. She was the manager and talked me into being her love for a raise. Remember the guy on Reddit who said his boss basically did the same thing to him when he was around 19-20, and that she'd ask him to do weird things like eat hot dogs out of her pussy in her office? Edit. I don't know where the story is. This was forever ago, 6-8 years ago, in a thread similar to this one. 26 years ago I knew my wife, but we absolutely hated each other. Today we've been together for 10 years and I can't imagine life without her. Why were you two hating each other? Like, what made you stop? What was the turning point? My best friend from high school. She picked me up and we went back to the place she was house sitting. Didn't know it was my old history teacher's house until the next day. I'm confused. Does the house being your old history teacher's house make it weird? Or was that just an extra detail you added to the main story? This hot ass bartender who was absolutely out of my league when he asked what else are you doing tonight in a friendly, I wanna be tipped well kinda way, and I said you, and he said I like that plan. Here's my address. Did you tip in well though? Probably my ex's best friend. She was the one who told me that my ex cheated on a night out. I then saw her during freshers week at uni and ended up back at her dorm for a party. Lots of flirting and dirty talk, and I thought fuck it. She hurt me and her friend was hot swoo. Moral of the story, if she hurts you, bang her friend. How many of you have started typing up your story, started thinking about it and go, nah, I ain't gonna share that, and discard the post? Random girl I met on a coach from Amsterdam to Brussels. We were both traveling alone and she came and sat across from me and asked if I wanted to hang out. After an hour or so of chatting she asked to see my dick, so I obliged. There was only 2 other people on the coach, and as we were traveling through the night they were sat up front and they appeared to be asleep. Before I knew it we were fucking on the back seat and fucked 2 more times before we got to Brussels. She gave me a kiss and we parted company. Totally random event. Edit. This blew up more than I expected. To answer some questions. There was no condom involved and I did spend the following month worrying. I got checked by the doctor and was given the all clear. Had 0 sexual partners between. The coach ride took just under 3 hours. We stopped at Breck for quite a while, not sure why. The sex was not some tantric marathon. It was 3 quickies with a bit of foreplay. I was 21. Permanently horny, and the danger of it all made it even more arousing. This is like the porno version of Before Sunrise. We were hanging out at a friend's house and a friend of my friend, girl, was kinda drunk and saying I was gay because I wouldn't talk too much to her. She kept insulting me, then all of a sudden she grabbed me and took me to her room. Her ex was with us and just watched. I was not aware that was her ex and that he still loved her, and she had a BF at the time and wasn't aware either. Crazy girl. Dude, you could have died that night. German exchange student. Did she say you have gross pee-pee? Female bodybuilder. How many reps did y'all do? It's a tie between my boss's niece and the pastor's daughter. Duo dog.